Here we are live for match day 4 of World Cup qualifiers. Socceroos with the biggest test of qualifiers so far, taking on Japan away. Tony Popovic, the new head coach, got his first win with the Socceroos last week in that 3-1 win against China in Adelaide. A lot of positives from that game, and hopefully we do continue our upward trend. That game, while it wasn't perfect, we certainly improved in many areas, and it was great just to see us score a few goals as well. But tonight, Japan away, a huge test tonight for Australia, and kickoff is just around the corner. We've been live for all 4 of the match days so far, and it's been certainly an emotional roller coaster. A loss, a draw, a win last week, and hey, I tell you what, if Australia can snag a result here tonight, even a draw, if Australia can draw tonight, that would be a huge result. How are we feeling? Hello to everyone that's tuning in live here. It is 9:30 p.m. here on the east coast of Australia, in New South Wales at least. Pseudo Intellectual in the chat. Hello, Tan Lee. Conscript is here. Jordan Nicholson, 5,000. Baby Rhino. Troy says hi, Lockie. Come on the ruse. G'day, Troy. Good to see you here, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are having a good week so far, and excited for the A-League coming up this week, and I'm sure plenty of conversations with you guys tonight will be in regards to the A-League, which is back this weekend. Can't wait for it. Just a few days away, the A-League men's 2024-25 season. We've been doing lots of videos in preparation for the season. Today we put out a video going through my top 10 Golden Boot contenders for the A-League, so we're looking forward to that. But tonight, all the focus is on Australia, the Socceroos, with a huge test against this Japan side, who is absolutely stacked. So, very excited for it. Jordan says Japan really can get a crowd out. Yeah, dude, there's, I think I was saying before, this stadium holds like, what, 60,000 or something? Yeah. Blinkers, hello to Blinkers, says hoping for the best, expecting the worst. It's going to be, I think we're all sort of, like, even if we lose this game, but as long as we put in like a good performance and show some really good energy and fight, even if we go down losing this game like 2-1 or something, like as long as we have the right attitude, I won't be that disappointed. So yeah, that's the thing. Hey, hello to Tanley. That's right, Baby Rhino. Yeah, for those who are unaware, this has sort of been reported for like the last over the past hour or so that apparently the Socceroos bus was stuck in traffic for like 2 hours or something and arrived late to the stadium. And as Baby Runner says here, 15-minute training session. I hope it doesn't affect the boys. Yeah, they did not get the full training session in. Usually, I think they train for about half an hour, roughly about that. Yeah. Hello to A-League. It says, hello, I looked at the stats and it said 82% loss. Yeah, I mean, not too surprising. I don't know if it's that much of an advantage for Japan, but they're certainly our favourites to get the result in this game. Yes, this game is indeed on Paramount Plus. Liesl here, hello, says, can't believe this game isn't on free-to-wear. Look, it's a shame, but as we've been saying throughout the week, I guess, they have to get their subscription somehow. And obviously, Paramount Plus is where you can watch every single A-League game as well. But yes, on Paramount Plus time. Blinker says, free-to-wear moaners, I don't really have sympathy for you. You don't have $9. You don't want to watch the A-League. Fireball says, late to our biggest game, Peacock's football. The teams are out on the field. And, hey, let's talk about this lineup. Because there is a lot of changes. Some surprising changes too. Jason Gary is in. Burgess is in at the back. So Rolls and Deng drop out from the starting 11. Geordie Boss also starts tonight. Geordie Boss coming in place of Aziz Bayic at left wing back. So we do expect the Socceroos to once again play sort of this, it's sort of like a 5-2-3 when we're not in possession, but when we're in possession, those wing backs just getting really high up the pitch. Roostich and McGree starting tonight in those advanced positions. So Goodwin surprisingly drops to the bench. I don't think we saw that coming. Aaron Quitter dropping to the bench, which I think a lot of us probably expected. And there we go. As Baby Rhino says, Bratton on debut. Oldest ever. Is he actually the oldest ever? I didn't know that. But, what is he now? 34 years of age. It's quite an incredible story. I tell you what. It's a feel-good story for Luke Bratton, a guy who's just really he's become such an iconic A-League player now. I mean, racked up hundreds of A-League appearances over a handful of clubs, winning the Australia Cup with Macarthur SC last month, and now getting a call up to the Socceroos, and he's starting tonight. So that's the other big call for Tony Popovic. Bratton starts in midfield. That's in place of Aidan O'Neill, who isn't even on the substitute bench tonight as well. Subs tonight, of course, the two goalkeepers, Ryan and Izzo. Of course, Gauchi starts again tonight, which is another big one. Deng rolls Yazbek Volupile there. Volupile, of course, scoring on debut for the Socceroos last week in Adelaide. Stamatolopoulos, a lot of people wanted him to start tonight ahead of Duke, but the former Jet striker is on the bench. Kunda on the bench. Arzani's there, Bajic, Bacchus, and Goodwin. So no Silvera on the bench, no O'Neill. Who else are we missing? Maybe a couple others as well. Hello, Charlie. Charlie says, "What's up, Lockie? How are you doing?" I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm excited for this match tonight. But as we're sort of saying here, and I think the general mood amongst Socceroos fans is that we're not necessarily heading into this game like the China game, even though the opponent was sort of, a lot easier. With the China game, I was nervous about that game. I think just heading into it, knowing that we needed to win, there's a lot of pressure on us just to get 3 points. This game, I don't really feel a lot of pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you guys feel the same? Like, whatever happens, happens. Like, if we lose this game, we take the L and we move on to the next window next month. Manly fan, unfortunately, this game is not on free-to-air, only on Paramount Plus. G'day, Dom. Dom's Ball Chat says, "Come on the Roos." Dom put out his A-League ladder prediction the other day, which was there's been some really interesting ladder predictions. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be predicting the same sort of like top 4, top 6, roughly the same, which is interesting to see as well. Yes, Gary did score a screamer in the A-League final, which of course the mighty Mariners ended up winning. Alligators asks, has Bratton never debuted for the Socceroos before for the Socceroos? Sorry. Yes, correct. He's never debuted. He's never played for the Socceroos. This is his first appearance for the Green and Gold. So it's an interesting call by Popovic. Maybe just going for an experienced player. Look, Bratton, defensive midfielder, very solid and reliable player. And yeah, interested that he's gone for Bratton, especially with O'Neill out. Interesting that he's gone for Bratton ahead of Bacchus. Indeed, intellectual, definitely griddle at halftime. G'day, Gabriel. Gabriel asks, reckon Australia can finish second? Yeah, absolutely. And if we can get even a draw tonight, I think that helps us a whole lot. Obviously, a couple other games in this group being played later tonight as well. No, fair enough, Xander. Xander says, Lockie, I don't mean to come in here and be all negative, but we are likely losing this game 5-0. I don't think it'll be that much. Look, we look at the quality of Japan, and we have to respect this team, man. They have so many, you could probably say world-class players. I mean, Matoma, who else they got as well? Matoma, obviously tearing it up at Brighton in the Premier League. A bunch of players playing at top clubs all across Europe as well. So we do certainly have to respect Japan, but hopefully it's not a smashing. Yeah. Fireball says Aaron Kunda and Goodwin 70th minute sub masterclass incoming. Tell you what, I don't mind the tactic to bring those guys on in the second half to really impact the game. It's as you say, Fireball. That might be the plan from Popovic. Like throw those guys on together in maybe like the last half an hour when they're fresh and bring them on and change the game, because Craig Goodwin and Nestor Kunda are capable of changing a game. Best YouTuber says, Bratton, what the heck? That was my reaction too. But hey, he's starting. And look, a huge opportunity for Luke Bratton, 34 years of age, winning the Australia Cup with Macarthur SC, now starting for the Socceroos. And we are set to get this game underway. You can watch on Paramount Plus in Australia here. Japan, Australia, a huge match for this round of qualifiers. Huge test for the Socceroos. What have they got? How will we go? How does this game pan out? A full house in Japan. You can see we've got the right side loaded here. There's like 4 players on the right side for this kickoff. We are underway. First half. Hit the like button on the stream. I appreciate you guys joining us for this one. Socceroos watch-alongs have been a lot of fun over the last couple of months. Well, I say that despite some poor results, but it's great building a community of Aussie football fans here. So I appreciate any likes, and you can also consider sending through a super chat to support the channel. Japan looking to control possession at the back early on here. And as we can see, our lineup looks like it is indeed correct. You can see McGree playing on that left-hand side, Hrustic also on the right, sort of coming in as two number 10s, if you like. So Hrustic and McGree sort of playing quite narrow. The width will be provided by those two wing backs. Dom says, I think this is a very strong lineup. Great to see Boss back in the starting lineup. Yeah, that's another one that I didn't even touch on. Geordie Boss, that was one of the changes I wanted to see. Look, nothing wrong with Az's Beige. He was good last week and always puts in a solid performance. Doesn't really do much wrong. But Geordie Boss, I mean, he made a great impact off the bench last week. And here comes Socceroos, switching over to the right. But Lewis Miller can't get to that pass. And looking to make a move down the left wing. And Jason Gary is in there as well. Gary, and it was another player who looked good off the bench last week in Adelaide. And the Melbourne Victory defender starts ahead of Thomas Deng tonight. Dude, look at this stadium. Look at the fans have absolutely packed the stadium out. You can barely see an empty seat. Great to see. This has been a really tightly contested, well, I said tightly contested, but the results have been skewed Japan's way. It's sort of become a bit of a rivalry, these two teams facing each other, Japan and Australia, over the years, and we have not beaten Japan. I mean, the record that does not look great is the fact that we haven't beaten Japan since, 2009. 2009, which is quite incredible. Well, we've never beaten Japan in Japan too. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we go tonight. The odds are against Australia, that is for sure. There's no doubt about that. Gaming with your boy. Hello, says Goodwin not starting is kind of crazy because he had an amazing performance against China. Yeah, I mean, we put out the poll here after the game and last week, and well and truly, and asking who the man of the match was from last week, and well and truly, Craig Goodwin was winning that poll. So he was great, and obviously that fantastic goal that he scored last week, man, what a goal it was indeed. Craig Goodwin on the bench tonight for the Socceroos. Big call by Tony Popovic. Will the risk pay off in the end? What's the plan for Craig Goodwin? Undoubtedly, I think Australia's best player, and he's not starting tonight. I just wonder whether maybe there's an injury concern. We don't know. We're just speculating, but we'll see. Japan looking to create an opportunity here a few minutes into this match. So many dangerous players in this Japan team, man. So many dangerous players. Australia will have to be careful here at the back. Harry Suter, solid performance last week against China. Once again, playing that centre-back role. Cam Burgess as well. I don't mind bringing Cam Burgess in. Such a strong defender. Again, Kyrol's fantastic defender as well, but Burgess obviously a lot taller, brings a little bit more height and strength to outmuscle these Japan forwards. Tanley says Japan's high press is scary. Yeah, we're going to be wary of it. Got to be wary of it, hey? Chocolate Milk, you can watch the game on Paramount Plus. For those in Australia, you can watch it on Paramount Plus. Japan looking to make a move down the right-hand side. Ball comes in, Gary away. This is going to be a very different game to last week. That's the interesting thing as well. Like, Australia just dominated possession last week and had the bulk of opportunities as well, which we expected. As Japan are inside the box here, looking for the shooting opportunity. It's come through the space. 5 minutes in, and Japan was at Kubo. So close. Just onside too, so it would have counted. Sutar was playing him on. Wow. So this is going to be a real test for this backline here. Like we saw it the game against China last week. You know, Australia we're basically just playing a back three with the wingbacks. Wingbacks were playing so high. It's going to be more of a back five this game with those wingbacks having to sit deep as Australia look to spring forward and free kick in opposition territory. Aiden Hrustic. Good to see Hrustic starting tonight, man. Great to see him starting tonight, returning to the Socceroos squad for this window. Big fan favourite, Aiden Hrustic. Yes, I believe Kubo is on the field for Japan. Alligators. Harvey says we should have had a better lineup. What changes would you have made, Harvey? Feel free to let me know. There's definitely plenty of positions that sort of players were jostling for positions for. Charlie says, study for the test tomorrow? Nah, watch Australia. Australia, hell yeah. Hello, Lucas in the chat. Welcome. Seven minutes in, 0-0. Japan with a little opening a moment ago, testing Australia's defence. And you can see how the Aussies here, you can see that sort of that back five going to have to be so disciplined and well organised tonight in order to keep this Japan attack scoreless. What a huge match this is in qualifying, man. Australia will take on Japan in the home tie next year, early next year. Australia have got our next couple of games coming up in the window next month. In November, we take on Saudi Arabia at home in Melbourne, and then away to Bahrain. Before a few more matches in 2025. And of course, the top two teams from the group go through to the 2026 World Cup to be played in North America. G'day, NRL on top. Adam says, I hope Luongo will be available next November for next November's games. Yeah. Look, he's obviously not playing. He's not getting too many regular minutes, unfortunately. It might be a sweet hey. But I'd imagine he still would get a look in if he's injury-free. It was great to see him called up. It was great to see that he was keen to return. He retired from international duty last year and has made the dramatic return, which I don't know if we saw coming, but it was great to see him called up. Unfortunately, missing out on these games due to injury. Same thing with Connor Metcalf for this window, but Massimo Luongo, very solid midfielder. A lot of good midfield options for the Socceroos at the moment. NRL on top says, we have started okay, but we need to play way better to win. Yeah, look, this might be the way of things, especially for this first half, where we're sitting back, maintaining our defensive shape here, and making sure we're staying well organised as Jason Gary is going to look to spring forward. There's no, yep, foul. I was worried the ref wasn't going to blow his whistle then. A couple free kicks going the way of Australia around the middle of the field. Harvey, are you streaming Auckland FC's first game? Won't be doing a live watch along for that one, but doing a live watch along for the Sydney derby. Prime time Sydney derby this Saturday night. So make sure to join us for that one. Potentially A-League debuts for both Juan Mata and Douglas Costa. It's one of the biggest A-League games in recent history. So this Saturday night, we're going to be live for that one. Very much looking forward to it. Very interesting question from Elizel. Do you think the likes of Goodwin, Duke, and Ryan will feature at the 2026 World Cup, assuming we qualify, considering they'll be in their mid 30. So let's come back to that question because Duke is down the left. Australia on the attack. Great defensive challenge, though. And why is the camera cut to the bench? Australia on the attack and the camera just cut to the sideline. That was a great defensive intervention there to break down that Socceroos attack, but little opening there. Little opening. It is an interesting question here from Elizel. I think Goodwin will be involved in the 2026 World Cup. I can't see him dropping off all that much in the next couple of years. Who knows? In 2026, he might be back at Adelaide United. We'll see. Matty Ryan, I think he'll still be involved. Will he be the starting goalkeeper? Probably unlikely. Like Joe Gauci now starting 2 consecutive games. Huge. It's a huge sort of topic of discussion here surrounding the Socceroos at the moment in regards to the goalkeeping department. It feels like Gauci's sort of taking over as the new number one. Hey, like, how do you guys feel about that? You want Gauci to be the next starting goalkeeper for the Socceroos? Is it time? Matty Ryan on the bench for 2 consecutive games here. Ryan has been basically Australia's first choice for pretty much like the last decade, hey? In terms of Duke, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think out of those 3, Goodwin, Duke, Ryan, Duke might be the one who drops out, especially if the likes of Yengi and look, there's so many fantastic Aussie strikers who are obviously younger than Duke. You know, D'Agostino, could he have a good couple seasons coming up? So I'm not sure if Duke will still be there by the time the World Cup rolls around. It's an interesting one, though. Speaking of Duke, Dom says, I think Duke will be pivotal in this game considering his knowledge of playing in and around a lot of Japanese players. That's worth pointing out, Dom. Indeed. Indeed. His clubs are having a pretty good time of it as well over in Japan this season. Gaming with your boy. Do you think Australia will get an automatic qualification? Because we rarely get it. Yeah, I mean, well, obviously this time it's different. Many more teams qualifying for the World Cup. And as Australia have a player down injured here. Who's that? Hrustich is down holding his head. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like he's in a bit of pain, though. Do you think Australia will get automatic qualification? I think so. I think we have enough to grab second place. I think for me, the game against Saudi Arabia next week is the big one, isn't it? Ooh, Hrustich copping a knee to the back of the head there. Painful one. Oh, the VAR are checking a possible red card here. There's no way that's a red card for me. I mean, the VAR is currently having a word here to the referee. There's no way that's a red card. The referee's blown it on anyway. Yeah, I was confused too, Chanley. Totally. Checking red card. No way, dude. It was just an accidental knee in the back of the head. Nothing in it. Oh, that's a cheap giveaway from Bratton. Very cheap giveaway. Japan coming forwards. Australia having to really sit deep here. They've really established themselves, Japan, now as one of the top national teams in world football, really. I mean, good results, good performances at World Cups. Obviously, we think back to the first time these two teams met. There were some highlights going around across the socials this past week of Socceroos in their meeting against Japan back in the 2006 World Cup, which for me is one of my earliest memories of following, like really properly following the Socceroos. I was a wee lad back then, and obviously such a historic day for Australia, winning 3-1 in the 2006 World Cup in Germany. Tim Cahill with the double, John Aloisi with a third. So long ago now. 18 years ago, dude. Making us feel old. 18 years ago. Isn't that incredible? So corner here for Japan. Harry Souttar is obviously going to be the key man here. You can see him in the middle of the box, towering over everyone. The corner comes in for Japan. It's a deep delivery, and the shot comes in, but it's a comfortable save for Gauci. But a bit concerning that there was a player unmarked there at the back. It was Kubo who had the shot there for Japan. Great to see so many of you guys tuning in for tonight's watch along. We've been doing plenty of Socceroos Watchalong the last couple of months following this journey through World Cup qualifiers. Hit the like button to support the channel. You can also consider sending through a super chat. As Adam says here, this group is all about Saudi versus Australia for the second spot. Yeah. Yeah, the game next month against Saudi Arabia at home, that really has to be a must-win for Australia. I think if we want to grab second spot, we need to win that game. That's the big one, I think. That is the big one. And then obviously when we play them as way as well. Where's that pass gone? We were in a promising position on the right, and when the pass came infield, no one was there. And what a challenge from Harry Suter. Harry Suter, that is signature Harry Suter, a tackle like that. Intellectual says, impressed with Paramount so far since Steph took over. Yeah, obviously, maybe a bit of a rocky start, but overall, it's been good. Obviously, it took them a while to introduce the pause play function, which is great that they finally have. It was an awkward pass indeed, wasn't it, Tom? It was an awkward one. It was cut off by Japan pretty comfortably. 5,000 says Popovic ball makes me mad. It wasn't it, Intellectual? Yeah, Suter, another nice tackle, like at the end of the game versus China. Yeah, he had a great defensive intervention in that game too. He's one of his best attributes, his slide tackle ability. Just crazy to think that he just was not getting any game time at all, Leicester, last season, man, wasn't it? Great to see that Harry Suter is loving life by the looks of things at Sheffield United this season in the English Championship. G'day, Fortnite. Good to see you here. Will you do a Game 1 A-League predictions? Yes, and I can tell you right now it's coming out tomorrow. A-League Round 1 predictions is out tomorrow. Very excited. Very excited. Of course, we love doing our weekly predictions and preview video, and very excited that the first one for the new season is coming out tomorrow. Alligators asks, do you think Australia did good at the Asian Cup? Because I think everyone forgot. Obviously disappointing to get knocked out in the quarterfinals. It was against a quality team in South Korea, but there were good performances in that Asian Cup. There were good performances, but overall, I think the result was probably disappointing to get knocked out in the quarterfinals. I think we had to be aiming for semi-finals at least for that tournament. Yes, Manly fan, we will be doing a live watch along for the Sydney Derby this Saturday. That is our next live stream, so make sure to join us for that. Very, very excited for the Sydney Derby this weekend. A potential debut in the A-League for both Douglas Costa and Juan Mata. Huge signings for the A-League, and potentially they'll both be in action this Saturday night, which is exciting. G'day, Joshi. I'm doing well. Good to see you here. And hello to your average target frog. We always love the interesting channel names here. Oh, interesting one, Charlie. I love this suggestion, though. Charlie says, Lockie, even though he is young, because he is playing so well at PSV on loan. Let's come back to that because Japan are in behind. Kubo, who's been dangerous. Nice footwork, but the cross is cleared. Still on for Japan. Kubo's been very dangerous early on in this game on that right-hand side for Japan, as we are 19 minutes into this World Cup qualifier, 0-0. The question here from Charlie in regards to Marcus Eunice, Western Sydney Wanderers player currently on loan in the Netherlands at PSV. Great. He scored a great goal the other day, didn't he? Could we see him making the 2026 World Cup for the Socceroos? Yeah, maybe. I mean, you never know, man. Like, if a player has like a fantastic single season, they could get themselves a call up. Like, actually, this was a point that we were talking about last week, in regards to like Nishan Velupillay. Like, if you told me 12 months ago, even like 6 months ago, that Nishan Velupillay was going to be scoring for the Socceroos in World Cup qualifiers, I wouldn't have believed you. Nothing against Nishan Velupillay. Like, he's a great player and a lot of potential, but I don't think we expected to see a Socceroos call-up coming for him so soon. Obviously fantastic finish. But you never know, Charlie. Eunice is obviously a player with immense potential. And, it's a shame that he's not playing in the A-League this season because I think he would have been set for a huge breakout season. Harvey says Tony should just put on his best players. That's right. Yeah, if we make it. If we make it. G'day, Fresh Pizza. I had pizza for dinner tonight. Do you think Popovic was the correct choice? If not, who would you have chosen? Look, I don't know who else you would have gone with. Obviously, Kevin Muscat was probably the go-to first choice, but he's obviously got a gig in China and doing very well over there at the moment, having a fantastic domestic season in China. Kevin Muscat at Shanghai Port, who take on A-League side Mariners next week, in fact. But so look, I'm happy with Popovic. I think he's a great coach. A lot of people are sort of quite negative about it. I didn't feel negative about it. I was just optimistic for something new. What a ball over the top. Kubo was in behind there for Japan, and it's gone out for corner, I believe. But yeah, Popper's here, and pop a ball. Well, we've already got to win, and hopefully, look, even if we can get a draw here, that'll be a good start to life under Popovic. Fantastic move there for Japan. That ball over the top, just so easily getting behind. Look at that first touch from Kubo. That's unbelievable. The first touch from Kubo, that's a world-class touch right there, dude. That's fantastic. Japan corner, headed away. I think it was Duke. Seeing some great questions and comments coming to the live chat here. Appreciate you guys throwing these in. Apologies if I miss anything. Great to see everyone here. We'll definitely be doing plenty of comments and questions at halftime, especially as well. 5,000. Yeah, Sutar's been getting some good game time at Sheffield United this season, which is good. Pardon me. Excuse me. Joshy asks, Coach Watch, random question. Should we or should we not offer Jamie Young a game for Australia before he retires? I think Jamie Young is a fantastic goalkeeper and has been one of the best A-League goalkeepers in recent years. Let's come back to that because Australia have the ball on the left in a good position. Can we find the opportunity? That's got to be a foul. Oh, you're kidding me? Bundled over. No foul. Japan are away down the right. Geordie Boss out of position. Kubo has been so dangerous in this game, and he's got it. Kubo on the right delivering. Away by Suter. And the shot comes in. Contact isn't great. Still bouncing around. That's got to be a high boot. And Gauchi has it. Bit of panic at the back there for Australia, but Gauchi ends up with the ball. Jackson Irvine is hurt. Holding his ribs. Jamie Young, fantastic A-League goalkeeper, but I can't see it happening, unfortunately, for Jamie Young. Wolfie in the chat. Hello, Wolfie. Do you see Sydney FC making the top 6? Started watching the A-League. Wolfie, yes. And I put out my ladder prediction last week. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, Wolfie, I reckon Sydney FC are finishing first. I reckon Sydney FC are topping the league this year. They've built a fantastic squad. They've got a great mix of youth and experience. You've got a front four of Douglas Costa, Joe Lolly, who's fantastic. Anis Wahim, new signing, has looked very good. Same with Patrick Lamala, who's already grabbed a couple of goals. And defensive midfield looking solid as well. So I think Sydney, I'd be stunned if Sydney did not make the top 6. So, but yeah, my call is for them to finish first. At least top 4. At least top 4. No worries, Wolfie. Fresh Pizza says, hopefully in time, Iran Kunde can become our Kubo type player that's thriving overseas. Yeah, well, I think lots of these Japanese players are well and truly thriving overseas, indeed. Josh, he says, that is legitimately the first time I've seen Coast Watch rage at a ref. Yeah, man. You should see me at a game. You should see me at Mariners games, man. I'm a little bit more fired up in real life. But yeah. Ooh, interesting question. Manly fan. Apart from Ange, who do you think is the best manager to manage in the A-League? Probably Graham Arnold. Winning Mariners' first championship, winning multiple trophies with Sydney, right? He built some great teams at Sydney. So probably Graham Arnold. I think Popper's close too. Like Popper's been successful everywhere he's gone. Popper has been successful everywhere he's gone. Won the Asian Champions League with Wanderers, won a premiership with Perth, Melbourne Victory, won an Australia Cup with them, right? with Melbourne victory. Musket says Fresh Pizza. In terms of best A-League managers, yeah, he had a good stint at victory. Tarnley says Kubo was from Barcelona's academy. Didn't know that. Troy says Sydney FC definitely looking at their squad. Adam, Auckland versus Brisbane this Saturday. Go Media Stadium. Dude, can't wait for it. Can't wait for it, hey? Will you watch the Kiwis team debut? Absolutely. Very much looking forward to watching Auckland FC for the first time ever this weekend. Chance here for Japan. Ooh, Geria has copped that one in the face. Australia, dude, we've been on the receiving end tonight, haven't we? A couple of players copping some knocks. G'day, Aaron. Thanks for the question. What do you think of Carl Vett as a manager? I think he's a solid manager, a good manager. I think he's done a good job with Adelaide over the last few years, got them to finals on a number of occasions. A bit of a difficult year for them last year. And curious to see how Carl Vett goes, bringing in some more of these younger players for the upcoming season. Carl Vett, I think this is his fourth or fifth season now in charge of Adelaide for Carl Vett. Japan's corner, and the header will sail out for a goal kick. So Japan have had a few corners already in this game, and so far, nothing really testing Joe Gauchi. He's made a couple comfortable saves, but so far, Australia are well and truly on the back foot. A couple moments getting forward on the counter-attack. But overall, Australia have had to do a lot of sitting back and defending in this game, but that's probably what we expected. It's probably what we expected. 27 minutes in. So many fans in the stadium for this one. Yosef Gombau, obviously, Jolie winning, helping Adelaide to their first ever A-League championship back in 2016. Yosef Gombau. That was Gombau, right? 2016. Ooh, interesting question, Tanley. Who do you think is the most technical Australian player ever? The most technical. I mean, Aaron Moy's probably up there. I mean, probably Harry Kuehl as well in terms of technical ability. Harry Kuehl, Tim Cahill. Yeah. Hello, Namar in the chat. $5,000 says Australia is a very good team in the air. Japan should try something different with corners. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say we're dominating that facet of the game in terms of defending corners at the moment. Japan have had a couple opportunities. It's been interesting to see. Well, there was that one corner earlier on where Japan sort of went for that far post where they had to play completely unmarked deep in the box. Harvey, we probably won't be doing a live watch along for that one because we're doing a live watch along for the Melbourne derby after that game, round 2 next week in the A-League. But that's a big Saturday for round 2 of the A-League. Adelaide first game of the season at home to Mariners, and then Melbourne derby straight after that. So we'll definitely be live for the Melbourne derby. G'day, G-Train. How are we going so far? Well, the Roos, we're in the game. We're still 0-0, which is the positive. Japan have certainly been in control of this game and have been creating some opportunities. Joe Gauchi yet to really be tested, though, half an hour into this match. Joshy asked, did Gary get injured? I hope not. No, Gary's all good. He copped a ball to the face, but he's all good. But yeah, Irvine has copped a knock. Hrustic has copped a knock, but we're all good. We're all good. I think we expected this, a physical game here. Putting the bodies on the line. And that's what we said before kickoff tonight. Like, I don't even care. Like, dude, if we lose this game 1-0, as long as we like put in a gutsy performance, show some good energy, then we'll take the L. We'll take the loss. Out of the 10 games in this qualifying campaign, this is the one that we can do. Geordie Boss, what a run. Geordie Boss, what a run. Oh, what a challenge at the back. Well, Geordie Boss, an incredible run. That was like prime Marcelo. Real Madrid Marcelo there. Oh, that ball's not gone out of play. The Australian players thought so. Play the whistle, boys. A great defensive intervention from Miller. Ball's still on here for Japan. Bit of a panic moment, but the whistle's been blown. So half an hour in. Australia 0, Japan 0, and Geordie Boss. I mean, that was a great run. This is why we love Geordie Boss, man. He's got a fantastic engine, great pace, great strength. But, I mean, these Japan defenders, some of the best defenders in the world. And that was another fantastic tackle at the back. NRL on top says Popper needs to put Goatwin on so we can score a goated goal again. Hopefully we do have another goated performance from Goodwin in the second half. Troy says, wow, you can see why you rate Boss so much. He made that look effortless. Yeah, and look, as is Beige, he's capable of the same thing. He can go on those attacking runs, but I think Geordie Boss is just, yeah, he's better in those attacking areas. He's fantastic. And the thing is, as well with Geordie Boss, is he's a good finisher. We saw that in the A-League for Melbourne City a couple of years ago. He did score a couple of really nice goals for City. A couple fantastic long range strikes too. So he knows how to hit them as well, Geordie Boss. So if you get him in a good position, he'll score. Tony Popovic is having a very animated conversation with the fourth official as we speak. Popper's, by the looks of things, has pretty much been on his feet the whole game. I don't know if he sat down. Australia have another free kick in the middle of the pitch here. Tarnley asks, what's Popper complaining about? Yeah, I don't know, eh? Who knows? But, I mean, this is a huge one for Tony Popovic. Like, if Australia, even if we draw this game, I think it would go a long way to get people on board with Popper. And, you know, in terms of him leading the Socceroos forward, going ahead. Japan looking to make inroads down the left-hand side. They've been favouring the right, Japan, which is where Kubo's been stationed. The left-hand side. I mean, they got danger players everywhere. Japan, everywhere you look, it's absolutely terrifying. So Japan building on this left side. You can see the Socceroos back five sitting so deep. Haven't seen too much of the Socceroos getting forward. Geordie Boss with a moment just before we broke through the midfields. Not much else going on up top for Australia. So much defending. Japan down the left. Inside the box. The shot! Ooh! Not too far away. Gauchi was stretched. And it was Matoma. Premier League winger. Plays for Brighton and Hove Albion. Matoma cutting inside. Curling it. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe he scored a goal against Australia a couple of years ago in Sydney, didn't he? G'day, Boston. Benjamin says Boss is on the wing is better. He definitely can play that role. He definitely can. The ball comes in here for Japan from the corner. Nervy one for Australia. Shot comes flying in and just goes wide. That was a good opportunity there. I think it was Minamino with the strike from range. That's right, Boston. Officially A-League week. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. Joshy says, if Kusnorbo fails at victory, we should make Fahid Ben Khalfallah, Lee Broxham, and Bessa Barisha senior coaches. How do you think that will go? Well, Barisha's, I think, has made his intentions clear that he wants to return to the A-League in some form. So I could see that happening, Joshy. I don't know. Fahid Ben Khalfallah and Lee Broxham, I mean, are they coaches? I know Broxham's still playing. I think he signed for an NPL Victoria club just recently. But Barisha, I think it'd be great to see him back in the A-League. Mikhail says, Boss Brothers, underrated. Geordie Boss, fantastic. And his brother, Casey Boss, at Melbourne Victory this season, potentially set for a breakout season. We mentioned Casey Boss in a video we did a couple of days ago here on the channel, going through every club's potential rising star for this upcoming A-League season. We did discuss Casey Boss at Melbourne Victory as a player who could be set for a huge campaign coming up in the A-League. Just 3 days to go until the A-League men's kicks off. Cheers, Boston. Thanks for jumping in. Japan looking for a way forward. But once again, Australia, I'll tell you what, we're doing a decent job of defending so far. I think defensively so far, it's been pretty solid. I mean, Burgess, Sutar's been really involved, hasn't he? It was almost a question of a penalty there, but there was barely any contact by Burgess on Doan. So Socceroos, again, going to send this free kick long. Gauchi's going to take it. We're going to try and find Duke here with a knockdown or something, just to try and get someone in behind. So Gauchi goes long down the left. There is Duke wrestling with a defender. Looked like that almost could have been a free kick. It's a pretty physical challenge there. Not long to go now till half time. Almost 37 minutes played. McGree on the left. Had a good impact last week in Adelaide, Ryan McGree. Came on at halftime and looked good. Great to see Ryan McGree back in green and gold. He was out with injury, recently returning to action for his club side Middlesbrough in the English Championship. G'day, Jay Dorr. Thanks for the comments. Says, hey, Lockie, we'll be interested how Bratton goes. Biggest game for him in a long time. Yeah, probably. I mean, he played a big one a couple of weeks ago in the Australia Cup final. Such a good player at his best and fittest. Hope he goes well. It's great to see, isn't it? Like, it's a pretty feel-good story. Like a 34-year-old player who's been, sort of grinding it out in the A-Leagues for so long now. And earns a Socceroos call-up. And he's starting tonight. And he's just committed a foul. So there we go. Perfect time. Only Edith says Arzani finally on the bench. Only real skillful playmaker here. There's probably a few more players. Probably a few skillful playmakers, I think we have. But no doubt Arzani, one of the more skillful players in the squad, that's for sure. And we'll see. We'll see if he has an appearance in the second half tonight. Daniel Arzani on the bench. Was not involved in the game last week against China. No Silvera on the bench tonight, as well as Aidan O'Neill. They're unavailable. Kubo on the right, looking to make a breakthrough here. So many dangerous players in that front line for Japan. Doan, Minamino, Kubo, Matoma. Number of Japanese players featuring in the A-League men's this season as well. Japanese trio at Western United, Hiroshi Basuki, Tomoki Imai, and Riku Denzaki. Got a couple Japanese players at Wellington Phoenix this season as well. Hideki Yoshige and Kazuki Nagasawa. Great to see a number of players from across all of Asia at the A-League this season. Six minutes to go till half-time. Japan again building here, looking to find a way through this stubborn Socceroos defense, who have been pretty solid tonight. I think if we can maintain this clean sheet to the half-time whistle, it'd be a pretty happy 45 minutes for Tony Popovic. And then in the second half, hopefully we can deploy. Surely that was an Australia throw-in, right? Surely Boss can't believe it. Throw-in does go the way of Japan. A replay. Surely that's an Australian throw. Should have been for sure. Yeah, dude, I will take this scoreline. I will take this scoreline heading into halftime. We regroup. Maybe we make some subs. Maybe we bring on a Goodwin. Maybe an Kunda in the second half. Maybe at the hour mark, and go for it. Another ball into the box, but you can see there again. So another ball into the box there for Japan, and Burgess again just with the physicality of these defenders just sort of towering over the Japanese players. Burgess was probably fouled there in that action. So the likes of Burgess and Suits, I think, are winning these duels so far at the moment. Hey, as Troy says here, to be honest, I feel comfortable with our defense here. Yeah. I think it's a great call from Popovic to bring Burgess in for roles. He's looking good so far. Left centre back tonight, Cameron Burgess. Another long ball for Australia, and it goes out of play. That's been the path for Australia. A few of these long balls, and fortunately not quite working out for Australia. Japan, again, this time flying down the right. Burgess chasing, good covering. Great defensive, pardon me, great defensive coverage there from Burgess, who matched him for pace. Now can Australia break? Bratton, another heavy touch. Maybe a bit of a shaky debut here for Luke Bratton. A couple times he's given the ball away. And Australia, we are in the... Oh, they're in... Oh, dude. Dude, they're looking so scary, Japan. They look like they're going to get in behind at any moment. They're really testing this back five. Really testing us tonight. 3 minutes to go till the break. Shouldn't have too much injury time, I don't think. Adstar likes the Burgess selection. Brings great height and strength to the Socceroos lineup. We'll be playing Griddle at halftime, testing the A-League knowledge here, playing Griddle live on the stream, so make sure to stick around for that very shortly. And it looks like Tony Popovic is having a word to someone on the bench. Tony Popovic is having a chat to someone on the bench. I don't know who was that. Who did anyone spot who that was? There was a player on the bench that Tony Popovic was just speaking to. Who is that? I'm trying to recognize it. He has a beard. Who could it be? Who could it be? A player with a beard. I mean, maybe Bajic? I'm not sure. Yazbek, maybe? Maybe Patrick Yazbek could come on for Bratton, maybe? Might have been Patrick Yazbek, who I believe is sporting a beard these days. So Australia defensively solid in this first half, limiting Japan's opportunities, but no doubt the home team have dominated this contest up to this point. You can see how Japan playing a pretty similar system to Australia, sort of this 5-2-3. Here we go. Almost a breakthrough for the green midfield, dispossessed, and Japan looking for a route down the left again. Goes out for a throw. Minute left. So, in terms of changes, in terms of substitutions, I think the obvious ones we have to look at are Aaron Kunda and Goodwin. I mean, potentially Yazbek to come on, or even Bacchus as a midfield option. Just to get some more legs in midfield. I mean, Bratton, a good defensive midfielder, not necessarily a guy who has the most pace. That's for sure. Only edits Bratton over Alexander Robertson is a bit of a wild pick. Well, as we discovered last week, apparently there's some sort of issue with some sort of paperwork issue with Robertson at the moment. hopefully that'll get sorted out. I imagine he would have been selected though. And of course, as we know, Luongo was going to get the nod ahead of Bratton for this window. 1 minute added on. No surprises there. Troy says Goodwin must come on. Yeah, unless there's any injury concern there, he has to have an impact in this game. Ooh, in current form, 3 strikers to take to the 2026 World Cup. Who do you take? It's a great question. I mean, current form's tricky because obviously we're only in Europe, we're only like a couple months into the season. The Gaelic season hasn't even got underway. So in terms of current form, it's sort of tricky. I could definitely answer that question more easily in a couple months' time. It's probably worth taking Stamatolopoulos. I think he's a good striker. I think Yengi, if he's fit, I think Yengi's fantastic. And I think in a couple of years, he'll be even better. And I mean, for the next one, probably tag it. Yeah, I mean, maybe D'Agostino's maybe a shout for another striker. Maybe Iredale, if he can build some good form. Yeah. Adstar asks, why didn't Nesta start? Is Goodwin injured? I don't know if Goodwin's injured. We don't know. But that is half-time in Japan. 0-0. I tell you what, that's a positive for Australia. It is a positive for Australia. We've been on the back foot for pretty much the whole game so far. But not particularly surprising. We take a 0-0 scoreline into the halftime sheds, and now we can try to switch things on in the second half. Only Edis asks, Lockie, is Bacchus even good enough considering he's League One? Yeah. He's too good for League One, dude. Bacchus could easily be playing in the English Championship. Bacchus should be playing English Championship. So hopefully he continues to tear it up this season. Yengi for sure, says Adstar. Yeah, in terms of like the next Socceroos striker. Fortnite says, I forgot about D'Agostino. How's he doing? Well, he hasn't been playing too much this year, unfortunately. I think he's been out with injury. Christian asks, why is Goodwin on the bench? So a few questions coming in regards to Goodwin and Irankunda. Looks like it's just a team selection thing, a personnel selection thing. In terms of like the Irankunda one, I think in regards to Nesta, like this was sort of a thing that a lot of you guys were saying when we did the live watch along last week for the China game. Even though we had a lot of the ball and created some great chances, Irankunda was a little bit off last week. He didn't really get himself into the game, unfortunately. And, maybe the way forward for Nesta in this game is to come on as a super sub and really impact the game, with half an hour, 20 minutes to go. Goodwin, maybe it's the same thing. Who knows? Maybe Goodwin is carrying an injury. Maybe you can only risk him for maybe half an hour. But I don't mind that. Maybe when Japan is starting to tire, maybe a little bit at the back, bring on someone like Craig Goodwin who can unlock a defense. Blinker says, doing okay. Need to hold the ball a lot better. Need to switch up the mids, I feel. Yeah. Like we've had a couple moments where we have had the ball and looking to break forward, but there just hasn't been any sort of cohesion going forward there. Bratton, look, great for him to get his Socceroos debut. Unfortunately for him, has given the ball away a couple of times. I mean, to be fair, a few of our players have given the ball away a few times when we look to break forward. It did look like Popovic was speaking to someone towards that half. To my eyes, it looked like it could have been Patrick Yazbek. So maybe Yazbek or even Bacchus to come on in midfield, maybe to replace Bratton. And we'll see. I mean, look, Popper obviously made 2 changes at halftime last week. He's not afraid of making the changes at the main break. He made 2 last week, bringing on Guerrier and McGree, which were positive changes. So he might feel inclined to make a couple of changes here as well. Have we had any shots? Great question, Matt. Great question. I tell you what, we should be looking at the stats. Who's looking at the stats? Let us know. We'll pull them up very shortly. But the soccer, I don't think we've had a single shot up to this point. We've barely had an opportunity in the opponent's territory. That's for sure. Possession has well and truly favoured the home team as well. We're going to be playing Griddle very shortly here, testing our A-League knowledge live on the stream in just a moment. Great to see you guys tuning in for this live watch along tonight. Always great to see a full live chat here. So in terms of the stats here for the Socceroos, So far, as we are in halftime here, you can have a look at the stats here. These come from Google. 6 shots for Japan, 1 for Australia. Oh, we've got 1. We've got 1. To be honest, I can't even recall us having shot. 6 shots, 1 on target for Japan. 71% possession. So look, not terrible. Like 6 shots. We've only limited Japan to 6 shots, which is okay. You can see our pass accuracy there. I mean, Australia, we've only had 133 passes. Only 3/4 of them have been accurate. So we want to try and improve that statistic. 5 corners to zip in favour of Japan as well. So that's how it's looking, the stats here at the halftime break. Oliver says, can't wait for Nesta and Goodwin to come on. Marcus Eunice at PSV. Someone asked this before. I apologize. I can't remember who it was. Ready for the 2026 World Cup? Good winger. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of time. So hopefully he has a good couple of seasons. Hopefully. Big says sub Goody for on for Bratton, swapping with McGree. That's an interesting suggestion. For sure. Jason Davidson, Gaming Witty Boy, asks, where is Jason Davidson? Haven't seen him play after 2022. Adstar mentions that Jason Davidson is playing in Greece. Jocelyn providing us a score update from another game across Asia tonight. South Korea 0, Iraq 0. Matt asking, I assume you ask how much are they playing? Sorry, how much are they paying? In terms of, I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Matt. For a second, I thought asking how well are they playing, the Socceroos. So hopefully we can increase the shot stats in this second half, man. 1 shot so far for Australia, but again, not particularly surprising. Hopefully we can gain some more control in this second half. It might be some substitutes who will be required to change this game. That's for sure. In terms of the lineup, man, I mean, who do you bring off? Bratton's maybe the one that we're looking at. If you wanted to bring Goodwin on, I mean, there was a suggestion before that maybe we bring Goodwin on for Bratton and maybe drop McGree deeper, which is an interesting one. Yeah, it is an interesting one. I don't know. I mean, Hrustic hasn't really gotten himself involved in the game. Maybe he comes off as well. Jordan says 29 possession is crazy. Yeah, we just haven't had any of the ball. Troy says the Japanese crowd is huge. Yeah, they're there in great numbers tonight. Chris, thanks for that. Chris mentioning that for Japan, they've got Kamada, Maeda, and Nakamura on the bench for Japan. Timmy here in the chat says Australia is blessed with some great managers. Tony is one of them. G'day to Bob B in the chat as well. Worried their pace might cause us problems when we tire in the second half. Yeah, true. I mean, they've so much pace in that front line, Japan. So much pace. Finn says our midfield is non-existent. They haven't really had too much of an impact, unfortunately. They've been doing plenty of defending. They've basically been playing as extra centre backs, essentially. Yeah. Born Bardo, good to see you here tonight as well, Born Bardo. Bratton for Goodwin and says Valupale on for Duke. That's an interesting one. That'd be an interesting one. So second half just around the corner. It's time to play Griddle, everyone. It's time to test the A-League knowledge. We are very excited for the A-League men's to be returning this coming weekend. 3 days away, the A-League gets underway. And we are very excited for it. We've been doing plenty of videos here on the channel in regards to the A-League and leading up to the season. And you can feel free to check out any of those videos after the stream tonight. And let's see how we go in Griddle tonight. I think we got 9 out of 9 last week, didn't we? So we're looking for players who have won a Johnny Warren medal. And we're looking for players who have won Player of the Season at their club. Wellington Jets, Adelaide Victory. Well, the Wellington one is easy because we can go for Roy Krishna there, right? He famously won a Johnny Warren medal. I don't know if there's been any others. Maybe Nathan Burns? Johnny Warren medalist. At Newcastle Jets. Johnny Warren medalist at Newcastle Jets. Would have had to be from a long time ago, right? Wouldn't think they've had many. A Johnny Warren medalist who's also won Player of the Season at their club, like Josh Nisbet, right? Josh Nisbet won it last season. There we go. Okay. Player of the Season at Adelaide United. I do know that Craig Goodwin has won Player of the Season at his club. A Player of the Season at Melbourne Victory. Damien De Silva won it, I think, last year or the year before. Damien De Silva. All right, we've made a good start here to Griddle tonight, everyone. You can play this game at griddlegame.com for anyone who's interested. There's a new game every 24 hours. This is made by Ultimate A-League, and we've made a good start so far. We're trying to get all 9 correct. Johnny Warren medalist for Newcastle. My brain. I'm intentionally not reading the chat just to avoid any spoilers here. A Johnny Warren medalist for Newcastle. Would have had to be a player from like ages ago, right? Sure, like I can't recall any Newcastle Jets Johnny Warren medalists in recent years. Like maybe like Nicky Carl. Like maybe Nicky Carl. Like that's the only one I can think of. Maybe Joel Griffiths. We'll come back to that one. We'll leave that one to last, hey? Players play for both Wellington and Adelaide. Players play for both Wellington and Adelaide. It's a great question. It's a good question. We're going to come back to that one. Players played for both Adelaide and Newcastle Jets. Craig Goodwin has played for both clubs, but there's a lot of players we can go for there. We can go for Ryan Kitto, current Adelaide United captain. Players played for both Newcastle Jets and Melbourne Victory. Andrew Naboot, former Socceroo. Wellington Phoenix and Melbourne Victory. Players played for both of those clubs. A player who we do love using in our griddle games. We are going to go for Scott Galloway, who's played for a lot of A-League clubs now at Auckland. The New Boys, Auckland FC. Players played for both Wellington and Adelaide. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. There's going to be a bunch, right? There has to be a bunch. Maybe there's not that many. Vince Leah. Did Vince Leah play for Adelaide? Vince Leah played for Wellington for a while. I think Vince Leah was at... I think he was at Adelaide, right? Surely. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we've got one more here for a potential 9 out of 9 on Griddle, which, to be honest, is a rare occasion for us. Johnny Warren medalist at Newcastle Jets. I think it's Nicky Carl. It could be Joel Griffiths. My gut's telling me Joel Griffiths. My gut is telling me Joel Griffiths. Would he have won the Johnny Warren medal, though? I don't know. We're going to go Joel Griffiths here from the early days at Newcastle. Oh, clutch. Oh, dude. We could have gone for either of them. Here was me tossing up Nicky Carl, Joel Griffiths, the two only players to have won the gold medal. Johnny Warren medal. Wow. Dude, we're back-to-back 9 out of 9s here on stream. We had some more suggestions here. Ren Episcopo for Jets, and who has he played for? He's played for Wellington, he's played for Jets, and will play for Melbourne Victory this season. Timmy did mention Joel Griffiths. There we go. That's another one, Big J. Yeah, McGree for Newcastle and Adelaide. Yeah. Adstar here says, what is happening with Garang Kuwal? It's a great question. Does anyone know what is happening with Garang Kuwal? I wish I could answer that question for you, Adstar. I'm not sure. I think what we've heard is that maybe he's injured. I believe he's injured at the moment. He hasn't secured a loan, at least for the first part of this season. Hopefully he heals up quick and secures a loan in January, and we'll see where he goes. To another club in Europe, maybe back to the A-League. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? As a Mariners fan, I would love Garang Kuwal back at my club. In fact, we did a Mariners career mode here on the channel last week. Central Coast Mariners career mode, FC25 career mode, and spoiler alert, we signed Garang Kuwal. We brought him back to the club. Timmy says, Kuwal, Newcastle, we're looking for a suitable club for him to develop. Yeah, and he needs to be in the right environment as well, Garang Kuwal. We know that this guy is a huge talent and has enormous potential, and he needs to be at the right club. Then look, that might be back in the A-League. It is an option. It is an option. He can return to the A-League and still be in Socceroos contention. Yeah. Troy mentions he had Galloway for top left. Yeah, that would have worked too, eh? Timmy mentions they're taking their time with him. The loan agent was disappointed with his last two clubs. Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't really, like his stint in the Netherlands last season didn't really work out. That was a shame. So, second half, and the change is being made. It is Yazbek on, Bratton off. That is the one that we suspected. It did look like it was Yazbek who was receiving some instruction before halftime. And Patrick Yazbek, who plays his football in Nashville in the MLS, is on in this crucial game. Yazbek should provide some, maybe a bit more pace in midfield, some more legs. Great to see him getting on the field here tonight for the Socceroos. First appearance for Yazbek for some time for Australia. Featured for Australia during the Asian Cup earlier this year. And here we go. We are underway for the second half. Japan getting us underway tonight for the second half. Patrick Yazbek comes on for Australia. So it's another halftime change for Tony Popovic. In 2 consecutive games, Popper has made a swap at the halftime break. I don't mind it. If he sees that there's something that needs to be tweaked, he's going to make the move. And I think it's the right one. Luke Bratton just unable to get himself into the game. Look, he was able to really lock down sort of that defensive midfield area, trying to limit Japan's opportunities. But Yazbek, sort of more of a box-to-box midfielder. I think Bratton is more of like an out-and-out defensive midfielder. No, Yazbek should provide a little bit more going forward. Good sub indeed, says Ethan. Bob says Miller looks a bit outclassed in his matchup. Adstarter says here that Garen Kowal's career in Europe seems to be going the same way Daniel Arzani's career went. Well, hopefully it doesn't. I mean, obviously Daniel Arzani, unfortunately, just struggled with injuries. Hey, he just never really got a good run in Europe, and he's doing really well in the A-League now. And back in the Socceroos, he's on the bench tonight, Daniel Arzani. So I don't think we should view as like returning to the A-League as like a bad move necessarily. Like it still keeps you in the Socceroos selection, but obviously these players want to be testing themselves at the highest level. So what have Australia got in their second half? What are we going to do a little bit differently to try and create some opportunities, but also make sure that we do not expose ourselves too much at the back? As Geordie Boss looks to spring forward down the left. There's your updated lineup for you. Yazbek on in midfield to replace Luke Bratton. Congrats to Luke Bratton on his Socceroos debut tonight. Kowal has to be picked, says Only Edits. That would be huge, and on top. If we can defend good and score 2 goals, it would be a perfect performance. If we score 1 goal, if we win 1-0 tonight, that would be incredible. If we win this game 1-0, which is probably unlikely, if we win this game 1-0, it'll be one of the biggest triumphs for the Socceroos in recent years. If we win this game tonight, it would be huge. It would be huge. Yeah. But that's right. And on top, we have Saudi next game next month. That's the big one as well. That's the big one. Because it feels like that they're going to be the team that we're jostling for the most for second spot in this group. Like Japan, I think, are pretty much locked to finish top of this group and go straight through the World Cup. Perfectly said there, Adstar. You don't want your critical national players warming seats in Europe. Let's come back to that because Socceroos are in a good position here. Ristich for Geria. What numbers forward here, Australia? Lewis Miller needs a bit more support. Need some more support on the right-hand side. So Socceroos is a little good spell in possession here. As you say, that Star, better for them to be playing each week in Australia than sitting on benches in Europe. Yeah, I agree. There's been a number of players who have returned to Australia and performed really well and maintained in the Socceroos setup. Matt Leckie being another one. Indeed, Oliver, yes. Very exciting to see. Nestor Nkunda is a part of the UEFA Champions League squad, their team sheet at Bayern Munich. We'll see whether he does indeed make an appearance in there for Bayern Munich's first team, first of all. It'll be an exciting moment when that does hopefully come eventually. Big second half here. Big second half here for Australia. Surely that ball's gone out of play. It has. Appreciate it, guys, tuning in for this live watch along. We are into the second half of this World Cup qualifier. This is match day 4 of this round of World Cup qualifiers. Make sure to hit the like button, support the channel. You can also consider sending through a super chat or super sticker. And if you are keen to keep up to more fan content surrounding not only the Socceroos, but the A-Leagues, consider subscribing because the A-League season is just around the corner. We've got our A-League round 1 predictions coming out tomorrow, so keep an eye for that. Very excited for round 1 of the A-League this weekend. Mariners hosting Victory in a rematch of last season's grand final. We've got Auckland playing their first ever game this weekend in the A-League, hosting Brisbane on Saturday. And then, of course, the big one, the Sydney Derby. And it's going to be our next live watch-along this Saturday night. Sydney FC, Western Sydney Wanderers. Potential A-League debuts for both Douglas Costa and Juan Mata in the A-League. It's just incredible, man. It's incredible that we have these incredible world-class players who, to be fair, probably beyond their prime, but still huge names to have in Australia playing in the A-League this season. So Australia looking to a little bit more pressing here from Australia. Look at the way Duke and McGree are getting a little bit higher up the park here. The Socceroos a bit more adventurous. Duke looking to win it. There's, in fact, that's Hrustic. It looks like those two sort of attacking midfielders, Hrustic and McGree, may have swapped sides for the time being. As Japan look to find a way down the left. It's Matoma. Matoma taking on Lewis Miller. Ooh, almost look like a handball. Japan have to go backwards. Thank you for that update, Jocelyn. South Korea won. Iraq nil at halftime. South Korea, probably another team expected to secure their place in the World Cup in this round of qualifiers. I am right with you as well there, mate. I can't wait for the Melbourne Derby second week. Yep, and that's going to be another live watch along here on the channel. Melbourne Derby round 2. And a huge one as well, because as we know, new Victory head coach is a former Melbourne City player and coach himself, Patrick Kuznauer. So there's a lot of spice in that Melbourne Derby this season, man. A lot of heat. So very intrigued to see how the Melbourne Derby goes this season. And then round 3, I mean, the A-League is nuts, man, for the first few weeks. We've got Sydney Derby round 1, Melbourne Derby round 2, and then round 3 is the first ever New Zealand rivalry, Wellington-Auckland. How good. Paul Endo isn't in the starting lineup. I believe he's on the bench. Maybe not. Aaron on top says no, he has an illness. Yeah, man. I mean, New Zealand's, I mean, they're calling it the Kiwi Classico, which is, I mean, that name has received a bit of backlash. I must say I'm not the biggest fan of the name, Kiwi Classico. It just feels a little bit cheesy. You know what I mean? It's like a little bit, you're pushing it a little bit there. I tell you what, I didn't mind the Kiwi Clash. And maybe that's a bit cheesy too, but I don't know. I prefer it. But Wellington, Phoenix, Auckland. Great to have another rivalry in the A-League this season. So Japan, again, is slow build-up. Matoma, patient build-up play. Japan have it in the box. Minamino trying to find space. And again, I think we have to be pretty happy with how we're defending so far in this game. We have to try and maintain this for the next 40 minutes or so. Miller again with Matoma. Oh, Miller. I mean, that was good from Miller. Even though he almost lost Matoma there. Matoma ran out of room. Couldn't keep the ball in play. Lewis Miller playing his football at Hibs in Scotland, and Matoma of Brighton and Hove Albion in the Premier League. And Lewis Miller doing a good job there against the Japanese winger. Look at these fans here for Japan. The camera showing the packed stadium here. So many fans in the ground. Great to see. Born Bardo says our left side is looking seriously weak. You reckon? I think Geordie Boss is doing all right. Maybe it is Goodwin time soon. I mean, the question for you guys as well is how soon would you make these changes? How soon would you make these substitutions? We're looking at the likes of Goodwin, Viren Kunda to make an impact. Who is the player? When is the time to bring these players on? I think in 5 minutes' time, when we approach the hour mark, that might be the time to look to the bench. I reckon maybe bring on Goodwin at the hour mark and maybe Irankunda at the 70th minute. That feels appropriate for me. But we'll see what Tony chooses to do. Free kick goes away with Australia, again in the middle of the pitch. Japan have committed a decent number of fouls in this game. It's been a physical game. Mashida just knocking over Hrustic there off the ball. Australia substitutes warming up here. You can see Arzani, Valupale. Again, two other attacking options. There's certainly, it's a real headache, I guess, if you're a national team coach. You've got such a big bench to pick from. A variety of attacking players at Popovic's disposal who we'll at least see one or two of them on the field tonight at least. 56 minutes played in Japan, 0-0 in this crucial World Cup qualifier. Ryan wants to see Gooden and Nestor at the 60th minute. Michael says 68th minute. And Keenan says here, Goodwin is surely about to come on warming up with a jersey on. As the ball comes in for Japan. Oh. Well, maybe their best chance of their game. Far post. Kubo did so well with the delivery, cutting inside. And what a delivery it was to Minamino, who just couldn't get the header on target. But I tell you what, if it was, Gauchi probably had that covered. Gauchi was getting across to that. Gauchi had that covered for sure. But still, promising chance there for Japan. Australia playing up from the back. A little bit risky. The long ball. Flick on from Duke. Hrustic just chasing it. Japan comfortable at the back. But again, you can see Australia pushing up here. Hey, we seem to be pressing a whole lot more. There's a lot of space in the middle of the field. Oh, flick on from Duke. Hrustic. Here we go. Miller's going to whip this one in. Oh, it's a goal! Australia have scored! Australia take the lead! It's an own goal! Oh, out of nothing! Oh, Lewis Miller with a curling delivery, and it ends up in the net. What a moment! What a goal! Oh, my goodness. Come on, G-Train. Let's go, Jordan. Huge indeed, Keenan. The ball comes in. And the deflected cross completely bamboozling the keeper. It's a horror moment for Japan, and Australia lead. Whoa. Oh, my goodness. Park the bus, says Edward. Unbelievable, says Adstar. Well, Japan is stunned, and we're in front. Oh, let's go. As we approach the hour mark. Wow. Dude, love it, says Troy. Build the wall, says Born Bardo. Oh, we love it here in the chat. It's blowing up. And just that is huge. Out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, that was a great delivery from Miller. Look, when he was crossing, I wasn't happy that he was crossing because there wasn't really anything on in the box. Like, he was crossing to no one. And it all of a sudden ends up in the back of the net. Out of nothing. Australia 1, Japan 0, and we are half an hour away from the biggest result for the Socceroos in recent years. Now, this is the test. This is the test for Tony Popovic and this team. But what an opportunity Australia has here. What a chance here for Tony Popovic to get 26, 27. What's the population of Australia right now? 20-something million Australians on his side. If Australia can hold on for 3 points away to Japan for the first time ever. In the box here, Doan crossing it in, and Miller has to play it in behind. Wow, dude. The Socceroos haven't beaten Japan since 2009. 2009, we have never beaten them away. And we are less than half an hour away from making history. This is pretty historic right now. But we should not get carried away. There is a lot of football to be played. Intellectual, thank you very much for that kind super chat. Really appreciate it. It says, come on, Aussies. Come on, Aussies. This is where we have to get behind the boys. And it is well and truly a big come on, Aussies, Intellectual. Great to see you here in the live stream, as always, tonight here, Pseudo Intellectual, and greatly appreciate that very kind super chat. Yellow card here, that's the first one of the game, and it is going to Geordie Boss, who, yeah, it's probably a fair call there as well. And across the stomach there of Kubo. Thank you very much for that kind super chat, Pseudo Intellectual. Set piece opportunity here for Japan, who are looking to make an instant response. Kubo to make a left-footed delivery here. Australia, just about everyone in the back too, to try and clear this one away. Australia's been so good in defence. Suter, Burgess. Japan are making a change here. Japan have made a change. Ito's on. Doan's off. The ball comes in. Comes off the head at an near post, and it's out, and it's going to be a goal kick. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Thomas has another goal, and that's history. I the moment says choice of subs will be crucial. Go Popper. I mean, yeah, this is Popper's moment. His entire career has been building for this one moment right here. Winning premiership, first ever year Western Sydney Wanderers, winning the Asian Champions League Wanderers in 2014, winning Perth Glory's first ever A-League premiership 2019, winning an Australia Cup with victory, getting them to a grand final, and now in charge of the Socceroos, winning his first game last week, and potentially winning another one. But Japan are away here. There's a great chance here for Minamino, but look at the pace of Jason Garrier, who's been gifted a Socceroos call-up here by his former head coach at Melbourne Victory. The Socceroos defence tonight has been near flawless. Park the bus, Popper, says Adstar. Oath carrier indeed, says Intellectual. Tan Lee says, bring Irankunda and Goodwin on. Is it time? Is it time? I tell you what, I'd still do it. I mean, even though we have to defend this game out now, I would still do it. I would still do it. You know, bring on Goodwin. I mean, he's good in any situation, regardless of the scoreline. And Irankunda. You know, Japan are gonna really have to go for this now. They are trailing at home as the header comes in, but again, just a lack of power on it. And it's a comfortable save for Joe Gauci and goals, who, let's be real, Joe Gauci hasn't really had too much to do tonight. A couple comfortable saves. There's no power in that header. Gauci's hasn't been tested tonight. Jordan says he, Izzo and Ryan stuff. That's right. Just get 3 goalkeepers on. Just get all the goalkeepers on. G Change says brings Damatalopoulos on. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Lewis Miller tracking back here as Japan look to break down the left. Great challenge from Miller. And that's going to be a foul. Rustic upended. Don't know why Rustic was almost going to take that one quickly. Adstar does say that we need defenders, not attackers now. I mean, to be fair, we've got 5 defenders on the field. And a defensive midfielder in Yazbek and Irvine, who's been doing plenty of defending as well. Matthew Page, you think the 5 at the back is working? I think so. Dude, I like it. It's a good system because obviously in a game like this, when you need to defend, you can drop into that back 5. But if you need to chase the game, I mean, we saw it last week against China. It was basically a back 3 with those 2 wing backs playing so hard on the pitch. So, yeah, man. I'm liking this system. I think it's suiting the personnel that we have in this team now. So Japan, playing with a bit more speed now, looking to find a way forward. Happy Tim Tam, great name. Happy Tim Tam. Where is Chikati? Unfortunately injured. Alessandro Chikati picked up an ACL injury, very sadly, and will be out for some time. So hopefully return sometime in 2025 for Alessandro Chikati, the young defender. 5,000 mentions here. If you were to look at the stats, you'd think Japan were threatening for a goal, but they haven't. Yeah. Like I'm not wrong, right, in saying that Japan, like Joe Gauci has not been tested tonight, and that's a credit to the Socceroos defensive setup. Like, look at the way, right? Like, look right now at those 3 central defenders for Australia. They're staying pretty tight and narrow, and just so well organized. It's not giving Japan the spaces. Oh, thank you for that, Adam. Thank you for that. We'll update that one. It is, of course, indeed the second half. Appreciate you pointing that out. 67th minute here in Japan. Australia 1, Japan 0. We are, dude, we are so close here to a big result as set piece comes in and it's flicked away and the free kick goes the way of Australia. Jackson Irvine fouled in the box. Again, certainly a foul there. Jackson Irvine just used as a trampoline there. And on top mentions that we don't need Nestory and Goodwin now. Fireball says Aaron Kunda now. Japan is desperate. Yeah, I mean, that's my thinking too. Like, with Japan are going to be committing more numbers forward here. That's the perfect opportunity for someone like Aaron Kunda to get behind with his pace. Geordie Boss, that's a good ball over the top. Geordie Boss has it on the left in a good position here. I mean, a second goal would be something from the wildest dreams of Australian fans here. Jackson Irvine, back for Yazbek. Nice ball. Great football. Oh my gosh, it almost worked out. Ristic trying to win it. Surely going to win this ball. Play on. McGree. I mean, this is scrappy from Japan. Japan are rattled. Japan are rattled here. They've been so dominant in this qualifying campaign. Japan are on the back foot. They're preparing another couple substitutions. They're rattled, dude. They've not been able to break down Australia's defense. The Socceroos, this is a good little spell of possession here. We've got it in midfield too. And we're finding the space. I mean, McGree and Rustic are getting into good little pockets as well. That's what I like about this system as well. Sort of those 210s are allowed the freedom to sort of float around the pitch, find those pockets of space. And it's working right now for the Socceroos. And we are witnessing a Tony Popovic masterclass us tonight, right now, as we speak. Make sure to hit the like button if you are enjoying the watch-along. We've got plenty of watch-alongs coming up throughout the A-League season. And, of course, we'll be doing watch-alongs for the upcoming Socceroos games in November as we continue this huge qualifying campaign. Jordy Boss looking to use his pace down the left. I mean, yeah, I think he's been one of Australia's best tonight, Jordy Boss. What a player. This guy is unreal. Lewis Miller's very good tonight as well, obviously delivering that cross for the goal. Wingbacks really shining tonight once again for Australia. No way, that's a foul. It's going to be thrown for Australia. And here we go, Kamada and Nakamura coming on for Japan. As we said, Japan really shifting things around now. And look at that. I mean, they're bringing off two of their key attacking players. Minamino and Kubo off for Japan with plenty of time to go. That shows that, I mean, it just hasn't been working for Japan, man. They haven't been able to make a breakthrough. Dom says, in my opinion, perfect time to bring Nesri on. He thrives running at defenses, and Japan may become open at the back. 100% agree with you, Dom. I mean, we're in the 70th minute now. This is surely Nesri or Nkunda time. I'd probably bring him on for Hustich. I'll bring him on for Hustich. That's right, Sarnley. We make history if we win this. 15 years, as you say, they're 15 years since we last defeated Japan. 2009, dude. What were you guys doing in 2009? Oh, my goodness me. Bob says they're looking a little rattled. Yeah. Yeah, they've lost their groove here, Japan. Like, they're not playing with the same dominance that they had. Like, oddly enough, that if anything, this goal's given us more confidence. Like, Australia, we've come forward just a little bit more in the second half. And it's been working. Long ball here for Japan. Ito has it on the right. Ito taking on Boss. Short for Kamada, the substitute. Kamada will go backwards. And you can see Japan here really committing numbers forward now. Australia have to sit back. And as we're saying just before, I mean, if Australia get on a breakaway, if we have Nestor and Nkunda on the field, long-range efforts, and that is probably the first time that Joe Gauchi has been tested tonight. Tanaka with a strike. And I mean, it was straight out Joe Gauchi, to be fair. Well saved, says Keenan. Well saved. Should probably be brave and replace Duke. Yeah. I think he'd be all right to take off your striker right now. The long ball here for Australia, but Duke can't quite get to that one. G-Train says here that Japan going for long shots. They desperate. Jordan says rattled Japan scares me. We prepped for a dominant Japan. Paul says let's go counter-ruse. That's right. This is the counter-ruse. This is peak counter-ruse. It is working. Australia are less than 20 minutes away from a win against Japan. Incredible. And Australia are making two changes, as is Bajic, Nishan, Velupale coming on. And it looks like it may well be Mitchell Duke coming off for Velupale once again. With Velupale potentially playing a striker. And Jordy Boss is coming off. What a game tonight at left wing back, Jordy Boss. And I tell you what, that's a really good substitution to make. Bring on Aziz Bajic. Guy with so much experience who will just help shore things up at the back there for the Socceroos. Maybe a player who's a bit more defensively sound for Australia. But those are the two changes here. So Velupale will play up top. Velupale obviously scored off the bench last week against China. Tell you what, I mean, again, don't get carried away. But if we just dream just for a split second here, imagine if Velupale was to score again here tonight to make it 2-0. Can you imagine? Like 2 goals in 2 games for Australia and a goal against Japan. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm getting excited, you guys. I'm getting excited. But let's not get carried away. We do not want to get our green and gold hearts broken. Corner, Japan. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We've got over 200 people here in the live stream. This is a big one. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button. Support the channel. This is a monumental one. 7th corner of the game for Japan. Australia have not had a single set piece. Updated lineup on the screens right now for you. Volupele's up top in place of Mitchell Duke. The corner comes in. Away by Gauchi. Strong punch. As is Baich is also onto the field at left wing back, replacing Jordy Boss. Ito for Japan, who's been lively since coming off the bench. And look at that pass. Way too much on it. Matoma was not getting to that. Wow-wee. 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 We really stepped up against this, Finn. Yeah, dude, I think we've noticed a huge change in the second half. Australia just shifting, like the whole team, the whole system has just shifted forward a little bit, it feels like. We've pressed at the right moments, we've gotten forwards, and we've got our goal. And that's all that matters. And that's all that matters tonight. I don't think the most ambitious and optimistic Socceroos fans were expecting Australia to win this game tonight. I mean, even a draw was going to be a big result. Even a draw would have been an achievement. And I tell you what, if this game, if we do concede late and it's a draw, we'll still take that. That'll still be a great result. But my goodness, I mean, what a moment here for this team. This almost has the same energy as like a World Cup game in terms of its importance. I mean, Miller's been blocked off there. No foul. And they're in behind. Japan have scored! I mean, Miller's been completely checked off the ball. And Japan have scored. It's 1-1. And it's another own goal. I mean, Miller's been wiped off the ball. It's a horror moment for Cameron Burgess, and it's 1-1. But Lewis Miller has been absolutely blocked off the ball there. Yes, there is absolutely a VAR, and this will be a huge moment for the VAR here because they need to intervene. This can't stand. This can't stand. This cannot stand. 76 minutes, and there's going to be no VAR. I mean, am I the only one who saw that? There was a huge block on Lewis Miller, who was completely wiped out of the defense. And there's not even any VAR intervention at all. Wow. Stable Gravity says the player was standing his ground. I don't know. It looked pretty intentional to me. I think the player knew what he was doing. Anyway, Australia coming forward here. Rustic deflected delivery. Irvine in the box. Okay, dude, anything can happen now in this game. Dude, this game has completely opened up now, and anything can happen in the next 13 minutes. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Wayward header from Volupele. That's not good. Kamada sending this one long for Matoma. Great first touch. Japan are in again here. Matoma! And the block from Yazbek sends it wide for a corner. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Dude, I tell you what, I'd love to see the replays at that moment. I don't know. From viewing it, Lewis Miller was just completely wiped out. No intent. It was completely off the ball. Ito's corner for Japan. 1-1 with moments to go. Oh, another good delivery, but I tell you what, another great defensive header. Look, it's Cameron Burgess who scores the own goal, but you can't fault the Australian defence, man, who have been near perfect tonight. It's 1-1. And we've got to make sure we do not concede a second here. Ito's delivery, straight to the hands of Gauchi. He doesn't really have many options forward. Wow. Bob says, we can't sit back. They look worried near their goal. Yeah, I think Australia will still have another couple opportunities in this game. Born Bardo says 2 own goals is insane. You don't see it often, eh? But I guess it says a lot about the game. Hey, both teams have defended pretty well, and it's just come from just little defensive mishaps. The 2 goals. Thomas says, we got to concentrate now, bring Irankunda on. Yeah, I think it's time. I mean, you got to get him on now. Even just with 10 minutes to go here. Surprised he didn't come on earlier when Beach and Velupile came on. Braden says, Lewis got dragged down deliberately. Hopefully Socceroos win and go Wanderers. That's right, Troy. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Anything can happen here. Oh, dude, it's so painful watching those replays of Japan's goal. But, I mean, if Lewis Miller isn't wiped out off the ball there, he probably recovers and it helps back to cover that run. Like, that run was only made because Lewis Miller was just wiped off the ball. Oh, my gosh, dude. My goodness. G-Train mentions here Stamatolopoulos on. He scores winners for the Jets. I mean, he was so good for Newcastle last season, wasn't he? What a play he was for the Jets. And maybe this could be the chance for him tonight. Oh, it's a bad challenge from Yazbek. It's a bad challenge from Yazbek. Another yellow. Nesta for Hrustic. I agree. I think that's the change. Certainly a yellow card for Yazbek there. That's right. Yeah, Ryan says Nesta on Nesta for 10 minutes of mayhem. Yeah, just get him on, dude. Like, Nesta's just a guy who will just shoot from anywhere. It doesn't matter who he's playing against. He will take him on. So this is the moment. If he doesn't come on, I'd be really surprised. Ito on the right. Heavy touch. Japan's still with it, though. Stanley says, at least calm our nerves and get a draw. I mean, that's true, right? Like, it's just so painful, the fact that we were in a winning position, which would have been huge. But as you say there, like the draw would be huge. And we're 10 minutes away from it, man. I mean, I don't think we'll have too much injury time. There hasn't been that many stoppages. Well, here we go. We're getting another Socceroos change. We still have one more window. But Bacchus is coming on for Miller here, which is interesting. Wonder if there's like an injury concern here, maybe. But Keanu Bacchus is going to come on here for Lewis Miller. I can't say I've seen Bacchus play right wing back too much in his career, more so a defensive midfielder. But Bacchus looks like he is indeed going to drop in at right wing back. But I do still believe we have got one more window, right? Because the first change was made at half time, which means Australia have one more window, which means we still have a chance to see a certain Nesta Irankunda on the field. 1-1 tonight in this huge qualifier, which would still be a great result for us, man. Japan have won the first 3 games of this round of qualifiers pretty comfortably too, but they've been well and truly tested here tonight by Australia. Japan making another change as well. Ogawa coming on for Ieze. Still 1-1. Not long to go. There's our updated lineup. So Bacchus is on for the final 10 minutes. Adstar says Bacchus should have replaced Irvine. Matthew points out that Bacchus has played right back previously at Wanderers. And as you say, Adstar, yeah. I mean, a draw would be an awesome result. It would be huge. It'd still be great, man. It would still be great. I mean, do we have one more chance? Do we have one more opportunity? It's one more opening in this game. Down the left again here, Japan. Down the left again. Oh, my goodness. I mean, a few of these crosses could have easily ended up as own goals once again, but Joe Gauci, that was an important save there. Diving down to claim that ball in his box. I tell you what, that's a really good catch because that ball was flying in and he controlled it so well. Huge save indeed, G-Train. Huge save. And Born Butter, I mean, I was just thinking it. Born Butter says Gauci is Australia's next big number one. Yep, I think he is. Not only is he the next number one, he probably is the number one now. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't really had too much to do over these last couple of games. A couple of decent catches in this game. But, yeah, man, I mean, you get the sense now that Gauci is indeed taking over from Ryan. So, 85th minute, Japan 1, Australia 1. This is still going to be a hugely positive result for Australia, considering our poor start to qualifiers. But, I mean, a win against China last week and moments away from a draw against Japan. I mean, this is a great start for Tony Popovic. But first, we have to hold on in this last 5 or so minutes. Oh, here's a chance for Australia. Hrustic ends up with the ball. Oh, bundle off it. No foul too. I mean, you get it. Hrustic stretching out the hamstring. You got to get him off here in Kunda. I mean, if you're Popovic, surely. I mean, we were calling for Hrustic maybe to be subbed off really earlier on. He's stretching his hamstring now. How much running has he got left in him? You've got to get someone with a pace of Aaron Kunda on there now for this last 5 minutes because you get an opportunity and you need a guy like Nestor on there who's going to take that opportunity. Oh, great tackle. Irvine winning the ball high at the park. Have to go backwards. And again, just wayward ball. Wayward ball. This is a good one, Ito. Ito still going down the left. Ito again on the run. And a crucial block from Bacchus, who can bring it up the line. To no one. Well, that's Craig Goodwin. Nestor Irankunda will not be playing in tonight's game at all. Appreciate the kind super chat there from the race side. Go Mariners. Mariners set to kick off the A-League season this Friday in that grand final rematch at home to Melbourne Victory. Appreciate the kind super chat there. The race side. Go Mariners. Indeed. Goodwin coming on. Indeed, Dom. As Japan are in the box again. Great chance here for Japan. Away by Bajic. But Craig Goodwin's going to come in for the final few moments here. Final change for Australia. Once again, thank you very much for that kind super chat from Rayside. Appreciate Intellectual for sending in the super chat a moment ago as well. And it's time for Australia's final change here. Craig Goodwin on for Aiden Hrustic. Aiden Hrustic, decent game tonight. It's been physical. It's been a tough one. He hasn't really had too much to do in terms of attacking. Aiden Hrustic. Craig Goodwin, who is Australia's best player last week against China, scored a cracking goal as well last week. Will come on for the final few moments to shore things up at the back. But again, you just wonder what this game would have looked like if we'd been able to bring on Nestor Irankunda to see what he could have done against a tiring Japanese defense in this last 10 minutes here. But we will not see that, unfortunately. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this live watch along. Not long to go now. Japan 1, Australia 1. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. We're going to be doing our Socceroos watch-alongs for the next games in November. Australia taking on Saudi Arabia at home and then Bahrain away. And this is a good result here to build on for the next couple of games. Foul here goes the way of Japan. So the unused subs tonight, obviously the 2 goalkeepers, but Tom Deng, Kai Rolls, Stamatolopoulos not making an appearance in either of these 2 games. Same for Daniel Arzani. And Irankunda not utilised tonight. Maybe a bit of a surprise. Maybe a bit of a surprise here for Australia. Frenzied Rabbit says, honestly, with this defense performance, I can see Australia qualifying from this group. Yep. Yep. I think we've resolved a lot of issues from the first couple of games. This team, I think I've got a lot more faith in it. There's just the energy, there's the work rate, the effort, and just tactically as well. It feels a bit more, I don't know. It's just working. It's working for this current cohort of players. It's just working a whole lot better. I'm liking this system. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling good about Tony Popovic going forward. And the two results are going a long way to helping that. So I'm going to say we get maybe 4 minutes added on here. Squeeze Covers, thank you very much for the kind super chat. $10, appreciate that. Quality coverage, Coast Watch. Appreciate that very much. Great to see so many of you guys tuning in for tonight's live watch along. Australia, final moments here. Is there one more chance? One more opportunity to come? Burgess is going to send this one long. Once again, Squeeze Covers, thank you very much for that kind super chat. W Squeeze, that's right, says Dom. W's in the chat. So, we've got it in the corner here. Are we just holding on for the draw? We've got the throw. 5 minutes added on. 5 minutes added on. I mean, dude, if we score here, well, it's almost 11:30 at night here in New South Wales, Australia. A lot of sleeping neighbours will be woken if Australia were to grab a miracle winner right here at the death, an unlikely winner too. Just knocks it forward. Valupale, good chest control there by Nishan, but doesn't have enough room. Japan, man. I mean, look, to be fair, from Japan's perspective, they'll take this result 1-1. I mean, surely that's a Fallon Goodwin who's been wiped out there in that aerial drill. Japan continue to move forwards. We do not want to concede right at the death here. Sutar, good defensive header. I mean, if you're talking about a play of the match for Australia across both of these collective matches, it's probably going to be Harry Sutar. This guy is just unreal. What a player. What a defender. So solid at the back, as always, Harry Sutar. And he's been awesome here tonight. Appreciate that, NMB. So glad I found you, mate. Great listening. Appreciate that, NMB. Jason, you've joined at the crucial moment. Are we doing okay? I think we're doing very okay. I think this has been a really solid performance tonight. And we are moments away from an important point here against Japan. Again, no foul there. Goodwin was muscled off it. Yeah. Adstar says Sutar is the best player Australia has. So, 3 minutes to go in Japan, 1-1. This has been a roller coaster, dude. This has been a roller coaster of emotions. I think if you're a Japanese fan, if you're an Australian fan, this has well and truly been a roller coaster. This is it's been back and forth, an absolute domination by Japan in the first half. To be fair, I only managed 6 shots, we should say, but they dominated the ball, and Australia didn't really have anything going forward. And second half, we looked better going forward. Got the unlikely lead. And unfortunately, the pressure paid in the end for Japan. 2 own goals, incredibly. As Troy says here, 2 own goals. Didn't see that coming, yeah. Is it time for a Goodwin miracle? I mean, this would be the time for it. That's for sure. Jason says, can you explain what happens next for us to qualify directly if the result stays this way? Well, there's still plenty of games to go. So 10 games total. This is match day 4. We've got a total of 10 games. Top 2 teams go through automatically to the World Cup. If we finish 3rd and 4th, the dream is still alive. We go to the next round. But we want to be finishing top 2, and we really should be. And I mean, this result will be great for us. That's got to be a clear yellow card. Most blatant yellow card you'll see there. Cameron Burgess with basically a rugby tackle. But if Australia get through to the top two, it's still hard to say. But a win last week and then a draw here tonight, 4 points from these games. And now Australia will be on a total of 5 points, puts us in a good position. The other teams in our group do play throughout the night as well. Smart professional foul, says Bardo. Yeah, it was because they were almost away there. Ito's free kick. Edge of the box. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, this is dangerous. Blocked. Comes away. Final minute. It's sent long. Goodwin's chasing it. Is this Goodwin's moment? Japan control it at the back. And we'll look to spring forward again. Oh, going to get some coverage here. Space on the Australia's left here. Japan. Ito again delivers. Good ball. Suta. And this might well be the final chance of the game for Japan. Seconds remaining. Japan corner. Their corner stats are surely in the double digits now. I don't think Australia have had a single corner all game. We have to defend this out. It'll be absolute heartbreak if we concede at the death like this. 95 minutes of football in front of a packed stadium in Japan. Ito's corner delivery. Oh, Gauchi, what a claim. What a claim from the former Adelaide United keeper. Aston Villa keeper now. Wowee. Full time in Japan. Japan won. Australia won. It is a huge result for the Socceroos. Great performance. Great result. That's the takeaway. Great performance, great result. Defensively solid. That one little mishap at the back to concede. But aside from that, Australia were flawless at the back. I do believe that. I do believe Australia were flawless at the back. Dom says here, big point. Big point indeed. Troy says, what a game. A point and respect. Earned a point and respect. That's right. We take the 1 point. Yeah. 1 point gained. Feeling all right, says Frenzied Rabbit. Look, I think it's fair to say that the feeling amongst Australian fans heading into this game is that we did not expect to win. We did not expect a draw. Japan, this is a quality team with players playing at the top level around the planet. And Australia scoring first. And dude, we just imagine what it would have been like if we'd hold on for that win. But it's going to be so hard to keep out a team with the quality of Japan. And it had to come from an own goal. That's the thing as well. It had to come from an own goal. Japan, as we said in that second half, halfway through that second half, were rattled. Japan, they were unable to break down our stubborn defense. And Harry Suta, incredible tonight. I thought the wingbacks Miller and Boss were fantastic. Burgess was great. Basically, the whole back five was fantastic. Overall, a really solid performance. And the way we shifted forward that little bit in that second half and pushed and went for it and got that goal, it was just really impressive. How are we feeling with Popovic now as well? I think we have to be feeling pretty good going forward for our upcoming games. Here we go. Intellectual says they were way attacking. A point is massive. How many shots did we even have on target? Bit harsh, that Japan goal, says Fireball. Yeah, look, again, maybe some controversy around that goal for Japan. The fact that there was what appeared to be, I thought it was Lewis Miller getting fouled off the ball there. Again, they didn't really show us the replays clearly enough, so we'll have to go back and look at it again. But to me, it looked like Lewis Miller was fouled off the ball. And I thought VAR was going to have a look, but nothing. Popovic, that's right, Bardo. Popovic. And, dude, I tell you what. Tony Popovic tonight has silenced the critics. A win against China 3-1 and a 1-1 draw against Japan. And I think just overall an improvement in how we look defensively, an improvement, I think, in how we look going forward, to be fair as well. And two very different games. The stark contrast between these two games, man. Controlling so much of the ball against China, creating the chances, getting the win in the end, which was expected. and then having to really sit back here. It was the complete opposite. Sit back and defend for pretty much the entirety of this game. Man, you can just imagine what would have happened if Australia had won this game. But again, we take the win, man. Sorry, we take the draw. We take the draw. We take the draw in the end here. Blinker says, I thought Miller was fouled too. He's probably just got to be stronger, though. He was really good otherwise. Good window from him. Yeah. I mean, there's so many guys who have had great windows here. Miller's one of them. Sutar's another one. I even think Jackson Irvine was much better in these couple games as well. G-Train, thank you very much for that kind super chat, mate. Really appreciate you tuning in for tonight's watch along. Appreciate everyone sending in the super chats tonight. It goes a long way to help support the channel. Squeeze covers with a very kind $10. The race side, $2.99, $5 from Pseudo Intellectual. Appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting the live watch along. We're going to be doing live watch alongs for the Socceroos next couple of games coming up in November. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain coming up. And we've also got the A-League kicking off this weekend as well. Huge weekend coming up in the A-League round 1. So we're going to be live for the Sydney Derby this Saturday night. Huge game coming up round 1 in the A-League. Hey, we take the draw. We take the draw in the end. 1-1 is a huge point for Australia. And I think we're feeling good going forward that we can qualify automatically for this upcoming World Cup. Thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight. G-Train says, thanks, bros. I support the Jets, but had a great time. Appreciate that, G-Train. Go CCM, says Bob. Thanks, Bob, for tuning in tonight as well. Jason says, we're scared when the lineup was announced, but just glad about the result. Thanks. Good job, says Christopher. Christopher, thanks for tuning in tonight as well. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evenings and join us for our live watch along this Saturday for the Sydney Derby A-League kicking off this weekend. But tonight, Australia remain in second place in the group standings, 1-1 with Japan. Huge result for the Socceroos. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Great stream, Lockie. Go the Roos, says Don. Cheers, Don. Appreciate it, man. Blinker says, take care, lads. Enjoy the league this weekend. Enjoy it, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.